Hey everybody, we are back for another Alliance Way Gear Guide review for 2022. I'm Cole, and today we've got the Connelly Ono. All right, so this is one of Connelly's surf style boards in their line. And right off the bat, obviously you can tell that this thing has got something going on in the core. It's a bit see-through, the light comes through nicely, it's actually really cool. It's called their skelecore. We also have a wood stringer running down the middle there. I'm guessing that the skelecore is, they're taking out material to make it a little bit lighter. I will say that's not a crazy light board, but it's definitely not one of the heavier ones that are out there. The one that we got to ride is a 410. They also make it in a 5.3. I think 410 is plenty of board for me. I'm 6'2", 180 pounds. But if you're a bigger guy, I would say you could step up to the 5.3. Overall though, the board is pretty wide, so it definitely carries in that wave nicely. I wouldn't say you're gonna struggle, staying with the wave at all. On the top here, we've got a classic track pad in the back. We also got this grip going on here on the front. This is called the Ghost Grip. I was kind of skeptical at it at first, but it is actually really grippy. And here's the big plus side to me. Typically when you run, foam pads on the top, you're separating your foot from the board, so you have less feeling of the board, right? But now with this nice, really thin grip they've got going on, you have a lot more feeling under your feet, so that is a plus. As far as the fins go, it is a quad setup. Obviously you can run just two. You can go, just a twin fin if you want it really loose. They are future fin boxes, so if you don't want the fins that come with it, you can buy future fins and slap those puppies in there. Let's take a look at the categories and see where this thing stacks up. Now for the first category, we look at stays and wave. How easy does the board stay in the wave? Are you struggling? 1 would be struggles. You're having a hard time staying in the wave. 10 is you're running into the boat, it's super fast. Now this board lands at a 9 on the scale because it was super easy to stay in the wave. There's almost times where you had to be really back foot heavy because it wanted to go down the line really quick, which usually is not a problem, especially if you're a beginner. You want to be able to stay in the wave. You don't want to struggle. You don't have to be pumping and trying to keep up with the wave. So that is a plus. And I think that if you're looking for a board that's going to be effortless for you, that's going to be one of them. Let's roll over to the next category. We're going to talk about carving. We go 1 through 10 as well. 1 is super loose and 10 is super locked in and in control. The Ono itself lands right in the middle at a 5 on the scale. I felt like the board, it handled pretty well, but also there was times where it was maybe inconsistent, and I think that's just because the board's pretty wide and it has kind of a sharp rail on the side. It's more sharp toward the back, and it definitely rounds off at the nose. So it's not the most consistent feel all the time, but it will, you can definitely get a good hack in, you can definitely do some nice things, but that's why I feel like it lands right in the middle. The next thing I want to look at is pop. We go 1 through 10 with this as well. 1 means no pop, 10 means to the moon, and this board has a lot of speed like I was talking about, and you need a lot of speed to get down the line, to get up that wave and get the pop you want. Now it is kind of a wider board, so there's a lot of board to maneuver, right? So with that speed, you're able to get up that wave and get the pop. But like I said, it's not the lightest board, and it's not maybe the most consistent at times. So I did struggle having a consistent pop, but when it did pop, it definitely popped nice. So I think maybe a little more time on the board, I would have been able to really dial in this, but I think a 6 is exactly where it needs to be. The last category we check out is ability. We go 1 through 10 with this. 1 means it's made for beginners, 10 means it's made for experts. Lower on the scale just means everybody can ride it. Once you go higher on the scale, I wouldn't want to recommend that for beginners, right? Because it's just a little harder to ride, it's harder to stay in the wave. But for this board right here, the ability comes in at a 4 on the scale. So that just means that, majority of beginners can get on this thing, they're gonna stay in the wave, it's gonna be a nice, easy ride. But also, you can get aggressive with it, but I don't think that it's made for a really aggressive, high-level wake surfer. So, as far as a board that you want to have on the boat to where you can kind of do it all, you can stay in the wave, you can have good turns, you can have decent pop, this board's gonna do that for you. Okay, so that does it for the Connelly Ono. If you guys are looking for a board that's kind of gonna get all the boxes checked as far as, you know, putting a beginner on it, staying in the wave, getting decent pop, being able to carve, I think that board's gonna do it. It's also a pretty solid construction, so you don't have to worry about beating it up like a typical foam, you know, surfer. So that's always a plus. If you guys are wanting to know more information, head over to connellyskis.com to check this board out and all the other boards in their line and possibly pick one of these up. If you liked the video, don't forget to like, but also I want you guys to subscribe, because if you're watching this, I don't want you to miss out on any of the future reviews that are coming out. So you guys are gonna wanna check those out. I'm Cole, and we'll see you on the next one.